Antoine Walker, 12 years in the NBA, joins us, and he joins us live from Chicago. 2 first-round exits, a second-round exit. Now, Kyrie, I wouldn't sign him to a long-term deal. Like, if I'm Kevin Durant and I got 3 great years left or 4, I'm not riding with him. What would you do if you were Brooklyn? How do you fix this mess?
Brooklyn, if I'm the ownership group, I'm basically starting over up top and working my way down. The GM, the head coach, they got to go. You don't trade for a marquee player like Ben Simmons and come up with 0 like this. And I actually thought, just like the rest of us, at least most of us, that they got the better of the trade. And for this guy not to play and not seeming like he doesn't want to play, somebody dropped the ball on their intel. When you trade for a guy like this, you do your research, you figure out everything about him, you call around the league, you ask his college coaches, you ask Philly, you try to find out the truth. And they didn't do their due diligence, because when he first got there, they was talking about him playing in 10 days.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, this guy doesn't show up and doesn't even want to play at all. They dropped the ball with this trade. I've never seen one like this before for a young guy as young as he is and as good as he is that doesn't want to play.
Do you think he's scared, honestly?
I think he's scared of not being able to perform at the level that he needs to perform at. And what I mean by that is he has to make free throws, go to the free throw line. He has to start taking jump shots and things that he probably hasn't really worked on to improve on. He's got to do those things, and teams are going to play on that. When he plays, it'll be hack a Ben when he comes back. They'll see if he's worked on his game. They'll make sure they'll leave him wide open, see if he's worked on his jump shot or if he's even willing to take jump shots. I don't think he's ready for that. And coming back in the playoffs would have been a huge mistake because the pressure's even higher.
Wow. You know, I was saying to Joy, you know when a defense is great in football because every yard is hard to get. Kevin Durant, I'm not sure if he's had 2 easy baskets in this series. I mean, he's got to grind for every basket. I watched Boston this regular season, and I thought, okay, they play really hard, but they're not going to shut down playoff teams like they're shutting down NBA regular season games. I don't know. I mean, I look at Boston. Can you win with 1 star and being the best defensive team easily in the league? Is that good enough to beat a Milwaukee, a Philly, a Golden State, a Phoenix?
I think they got enough. If they're healthy, if they're whole, they got enough. Because Jaylen Brown is an all-star. He does a terrific job of playing off Tatum. It took them a while to figure it out, but I think they figured it out. Those guys do not get in each other's way anymore. And then the X factor to me is Marcus Smart at the point guard position. He gives them so much versatility defensively and offensively that makes them a much better team. So Robert Williams is back. He'll get his legs back up under him. Al Horford's been great. I like where the Celtics at. They're doing a terrific job. But the key ingredient that the Celtics have over most teams, Udoka was the assistant coach at Brooklyn last year. Mm-hmm. He's been around KD. He knows KD's game. So he's put together a great scheme and guard him. And we got to give Jayson Tatum a lot of credit.
Yep.
That he's decided to take that. We don't see stars guarding each other much anymore in the NBA. But this guy has decided that he's going to take the challenge on and guard him and make him work and also go score 30. That's what superstars do, and he's doing that.
Surprised at all that Booker's injury and departure for the Suns have put them in peril against a very young Pelican team. Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised. I believe Phoenix is going to win this series. I didn't think they would have to go 6 or 7 games to win it. I thought it would probably be a gentleman's sweep. But I got to give New Orleans a lot of credit. As we just talked about Jayson Tatum, we got to give Ingram a lot of credit. He's another star that's coming in our own eyes right now. He's becoming that star. And we talk about trades and decision-making. New Orleans made probably the best trade of any team in picking up CJ McCollum.
Yeah.
He's been terrific for them.
Yeah.
They don't get enough credit for that. So we got to put that in perspective. But for Phoenix, it's tough because Chris Paul, I don't think, is able to go get you 30 every night. So they're missing Devin Booker scoring, and they got to do it for more of a balanced attack. And you saw that. The 2 games they won, Chris was terrific offensively in scoring the basketball. And the games they lost, obviously the last game was only 4 points. So he has to be more aggressive. for them to be able to get out this series, and hopefully they can get Devin Booker back.
Listen, Golden State, they got a surplus of riches. Jordan Poole's become a go-to player. Clay had a great shooting day yesterday. Curry. They can be small, and Jokic, they couldn't make stops down the stretch. Jokic, kind of his size was a factor. What do you make of the whole Steph coming off the bench thing? That just, you know what, man, a lot, that just doesn't happen. That's just not a normal thing. What do you make of it?
I'm not reading too much into it right now. If they continually do it throughout the playoffs, then obviously that'll be actually, I've never seen a guy who's top 5 in the NBA and willing to come off the bench. So, I mean, that'll be historic in itself, especially a guy that's in his prime and playing as good as Steph is playing. So I don't know if this is going to continue, but I think this is the perfect series for them to ease Steph back into the rotation, to get himself back, get his feet back under him.
Yeah.
Denver playing without 3-4 players. It's going to be. They knew they had this series won. Obviously, they could have swept yesterday, but a gentleman's sweep is still good. And they get enough. This series was good for them because they got an opportunity to bring Steph back slowly and didn't have to force it and have to play big, long minutes in this series. That they won the 2 home games handily. Obviously, the road games were pretty good, but I just think this was the perfect series. Steph is coming back to that star lineup. I can't see him. I just can't see a top 5 guy sitting out.
Yeah, but I do appreciate the fact, Antoine, that he sees that it helps the team. Like, there is some self-awareness there, right? Like, listen, Jordan's playing well. I'm not 100%. That I just like the ability that you could a coach could go to him and say, "Hey, we're playing well. What do you make?" Like, most guys wouldn't do that.
Oh, no, without question. That's what I said. We saw Carmelo Anthony didn't want to come off the bench late in his career. You saw Allen Iverson at the end didn't want to come off the bench. It's tough for guys that are, Hall of Fame players to say come off the bench. And the fact that he's doing it speaks volumes on what type of player he is. And he understands Jordan Poole, and they need to try to figure out a way to keep him. They may lose him. So he's doing everything he can. Steph wants to win and compete for championships. So he's doing whatever he can to keep guys around.
Good stuff, Antoine Walker, Fox Sports. Good seeing you, buddy.
All right.
Yeah, Golden State's fine. Scoring's not the issue with Golden State. They can get really small, and it was in Denver. Jokic is a handful, and I will say this, that it does feel a little bit to me like it's sort of the end of an era. Like Giannis right now is the best player in the league, both ends of the floor. He can distribute, he can facilitate, he can shoot, he can defend, he can score. He's a great fourth quarter scorer, and he's healthy. Embiid's always got an injury. Giannis is always healthy. And so, there was all these years that we loved Giannis, but we'd but KD, I'll take KD with a minute left. I'll take LeBron. No, I'll take Giannis now. He's my MVP. I'll take Giannis as the best player in the league. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.